Forgot to start recording. Better make sure to do that as well. Yeah. Whoops. That is not the eraser. Same. December was kicking my butt without, because I already live in the Pacific Northwest, and so having, I'm already vitamin D deficient. Whoops, that is not how I want to do that. And so I was just absolutely in a horrible mood all the time. And that stopped once I remembered to take my vitamin D. Alright. So let's get back to figuring out this gosh darn pose. I kind of want to make it be like the person is sort of leaning over, like tired and almost like they're like sitting at a, like, not sitting, but like just standing and resting their arms on a wash basin or something like that. I am not enjoying this pencil. What is up with this pencil? It is giving the wrong... I need the pressure opacity. Yeah, hunching forward, kinda. Because again, like I said, we're getting a little bit of the sickness in there. Where is my regular pencil? Hard round, pressure, opacity, and flow. That should be it. Nope. Hey, Corey Volp. Nice to see you here. And then... okay. Hard round, pressure, opacity. And then... see, again, I'm not getting the right drawing. It's weird. Let's go with opacity, pressure based. There we go. That's what I like. That is what I like. Alright. So, back to construction. So yeah, sort of. I say we want to do hunching forward because I really want to do some fun stuff with, like, wings just starting to poke through. You know? Let's get some nice, like... they're gripping onto the edge of, like, maybe a bedstand or something. I want a good evocative pose as these wings are coming in. And we want the weight resting on this foot, because otherwise it's not going to read right. Now, let's get our general body shape together. I'm gonna make this opacity a little bit lower. Whoops, that is too low of an opacity. Too low. Okay. Go down there. Fill me a nice little thing of white. There we go. Opacity low, so it's nice. And so we've got the sketches sketch. I'm doing all right. I mean, had a bunch of stuff to get done today, but it wasn't bad. Had to go and help my mom get some art framed for my dad, because that's gonna be his Christmas present. Is I did some nice art that my mom commissioned from me. But other than that, I was pretty free. Would you guys like to see the art that I made for my dad? Just real quick. Yeah. This is what I painted for my dad for Christmas. Because he made an offhanded comment to my mom about how he feels like a dragon over his horde of computers because he does professional LAN parties. And so he has a big old warehouse full of computers in his garage. So we've drew him a nice little dragon for his first Christmas gift. Alright, now back to... I keep wanting... Okay, you can tell I've been working on my, what's it called? On my iPad for a while, because I keep wanting to, like, make the little hand motions to make things smaller, and I gotta remember, I gotta click and do that. I can't just... I'm not an iPad baby. Alright, so... Anywho. Alright, let's get this poor soul suffering from gargoyle plague. Nope. Get them some features going. I feel like we can get a little bit of a fun webbed ear going. And then keep needing to get smaller. Critters, yeah. The worst bit is when I occasionally like do it on my... I'll occasionally do it in physical art and be like, wait a minute, I'm a dumbass. And get some features in for this lovely gargoyle gal, or soon-to-be gargoyle gal. Get a nice nose in there. And sort of a like a panting sigh. What? I better double check the file, make sure I put it at the right size. Image size. Okay, yeah, 300. Well, just bump it up. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. You can always make it bigger. Now to figure out where it went. Oh, whoops. Too big. There we go. Now I've sort of got where we're at again. Oh dear, that head is probably also way too big. But we can adjust that later on. So right now we're just gonna play with what we got. Yeah, give it a little bit of a, like, not sad, but very, like, maybe they've got a more slow-acting variant of the gargoyle plague. And so it's been a couple of days and they've been just, having these horrible hot flashes and muscle growth, all that sort of stuff. New New body parts can't be easy at all. Not to mention changing gender. Ooh. Some of that. No, that's not the expression I want. Let's see. Maybe kind of like they're got a little bit of a fever going, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, there we go. Give it more of a pant going on. Why are my eyes not looking good? Gonna focus in real close so I can get this head right. Let's see. All right, we want to put a nose here somewhere. And then eyes are, okay, we want a little bit of hello, hello. Glad you like the drawing. Little, I would give him a little bit, like, a little bit, not vacant stare, but a little bit out of it. Like, I'm so tired. That's what I'm thinking. Clean up some of these lines a bit. Okay, then ears are generally in line with the eyes. And since we want this gargoyle transformation to be happening, let's make a little bit of a funky ear shape. Okay, now to zoom back out and figure out how to fit that into the rest of the composition. Now, get a little bit of a curve going there so that you can see it's not just a TF, it's a TFTG. Oh yeah, something like that would be perfect. And then yeah, it can be a bit of a struggle getting proportions right, especially when, because I also do that thing where I like to squint and focus real hard, which is, it's sometimes necessary, but also sometimes, like, you gotta be able to take a look at the bigger picture as well, because otherwise you lose sight of everything. Now let's get some legs in here. Yeah, speaking of bigger picture, that's what I need to do right now. So so that I can get the proportions all nice and good. And then get this leg. Oh yeah, there's a lot of good things about digital art. There's a lot of good things about traditional art as well. Lots of stuff that, try as you might, you can't quite replicate digitally. But yeah. Okay. Another leg. One sort of crossing over, and like it's right in the middle of becoming a gargoyle leg, so I figure they got kind of an awkward gait at the moment. Yeah. I'm kind of feeling out of the groove tonight, but I will get back into the groove. So let's see. Okay. Get one leg, and then the funky raptor feet. There we go. Like seeing their horns come through. Yep. Need to get something like that. Let's go ahead and put just some little suggestions of hands in here. And then maybe a tiny tail. Yeah, tiny button tail. It's not quite there yet, but it'll be there soon. I figure if we're going sort of 1920 style, like I'm gonna go for a something that they would probably wear, do some underclothes. That way, they'd have something that they can see the wing, that you can see the wings through without too much tear through. So I'm thinking, just sort of a undershirt right here, and then looking back at our reference, how did I do those wings? Okay. Change them up a little bit. Got little nubbin bat wings. They're still growing. Oops, make that small again. Maybe they got the cap going on too. Maybe, but we'll see. I kind of want maybe some longer hair stuff going on. Like it's just growing out of control, and they're trying to deny it a little bit. No, it's not what they think it is, but like, it's just been a while because they've been sick and they haven't got their hair cut. They should have been into the barber a long time ago, but they didn't want to risk it. Something like that. Get that little flop over of the hair. I'm not liking that bit. That bit can go die. I'm sort of feeling like sort of an undeveloped or more of a lump right here, right now. It's not quite into wing form yet. It's developing. That's two in front of their face. Yeah, you say motif art. Motif is a thing across all forms of art. Make it like this was the original part line right here for their hair. Get a little bit of shadow in on there. Maybe we get one of the horns we were talking about coming in. Something cute. A little two-prong horn crown thingy. Then pants. Gotta give him some pants. Well, I should look up union suits, because timeline-wise, that's sort of what I was thinking. Union suits. 1920s vintage. Not quite like the long ones, but well, they're kind of unisex, it looks like. Better than because they got pockets. True. Something sort of like this, maybe? Eh. What do you think, Frost? Union suit or no? Like I said, they're kind of, you know, maybe a little bit of lace. Like, they thought they picked up their union suit from the dry cleaners, but it's really somebody else's. So. Then get a little bit of, just a little bit of sweat in there, like, ugh, you know, exhausting, tired. Then I think, no, I don't like that line. I think that's a good, I think this is a good start. Let me just do some quick last minute adjustments, and then I think it'll be time for me to hop on over to the next one. I usually get it to a sketch to a state where I'm like, okay, I can read the majority of this, and it feels decently good, and then I ink it in, because these are supposed to be fast enough so that I can do a good amount and have everybody happy. All right. And then I always overdo stuff. Okay, so Just got a nice quick gargoyle person on their way to being a gargoyle. Let us see what is next. Where did I put? Oh, okay, it's here in my references. All right. So. No whammies. I am not sure what whammies is, but let me just double check. And, oh, I need to remember to write Frost's name here so that I can remember who I did what for. Frost. Ah, okay. Let's spin this again. See what it lands on. And if it lands on 17 again, we just skip. Number 9. Woohoo! Let's see who lucky number 9 is. Oh, Zelo. Looks like you're up. We got some, looks like we got TFTG as the current running theme. We want some pregnant TFTG into pregnant dragoness. Let's go ahead and grab this reference and pop this over here. I am fairly well acquainted with this ref before, having done multiple commissions for you, but it's always good to have it here, have reference in the background, so I'm going to pop it over to the other screen. And let's get going into a Gravid Dragoness. So, alright. Nice and surprised. I think I'm gonna surprise as like a emotion is usually always a sort of a backward arc. Like this is a surprised line. So since you're in chat, Zelo, are you thinking more later in the TF or mid TF? Thinking of doing some fun like snaky dragon neck. 70%-ish? Okay, okay. I can work with 70%-ish. And of course, I'm kind of defaulting to Anthro Dragon in my head, but is that the funnest way? Well, at 70% TF, yeah, it's generally probably fairly Anthro. So let's get a somewhat humanoid form in there. I figure we go sort of the more like haunchy design for a dragon, where they're rather, sort of the pear-shaped dragon deal that I've been seeing around recently. Just because it's fun. I'm getting some Let's get a good... I'm not liking the arc of that tail. It needs to... curve better. And then, of course, make that nice round shape. Get that sort of like almost triangle. Right, so that's like a high domed fat versus a more low domed fat of soft fat. And then I think I'm gonna put some hands like right here, like, oh, sorry, making a, you know, definitely a surprised surprised motion with the hands, as well as feeling it. And then, yeah, because a pregnant belly is generally shaped differently than someone who just has excess fat, because it's like more water weight inside of the belly versus fat. You've got other, other living beings in there, especially for dragons. Yeah, and if you're going fantasy biology, like Tor says, especially for dragons, because it's eggs. There's definitely different belly shapes for just fat versus pregnancy. Because like, if I was doing just some just regular fat, sorry, I'm doing a little quick diagram, I would be having a very soft belly, and there's more curve to it. Like, you have a lot of people have sort of a double belly, where they've got a lower and an upper bit, because the fat deposits go like this, versus pregnancy, where it's a lot more round and circular. Impromptu anatomy lessons with Marzipan. And then let's get that neck in here. I do want to do sort of a fun dragon neck. And we want things to look downward, but I also want to dragons can be a little bit hard because there's no rules, but also a little bit awesome because there's no rules. YouTube short about art tips? Maybe. I have a lot of things that I'd like to do, but I'm also very much like, I run out of time to do all the ideas a lot. I've got a lot of stuff I could do, but I just forget. And then True. Yep. Takes a lot of time out of the leisure time. Maybe one day, when I get up the time and energy to do it. I'm sort of doing a beaky kind of dragon, I think. That's all good. And Some fun. Alright, I'm trying to find the right balance here between, because I gotta be able to do that whole, because you gotta be able to look at this thing and be like, oh, do that bit from Shrek, oh, I mean a girl dragon type of deal. So, I'm trying to figure out how I wanna, I mean, aside from the pregnancy, there's, unfortunately, lizards and other skillies are kind of not super sexually dimorphic. So, well, they are, but in ways that I am unfamiliar with. And then I actually kind of want to make sort of a little bit more of a wild eye shape. Just very... Mm-hmm. Get some horns in there. And I mean, yeah, that is kind of... That whole, like, you know, oh, gotta draw these so sexually dimorphic, that they look like different species. That is dumb, but also, sometimes, yeah, you kind of gotta run a little bit into that because people are stupid. So... Since we still want a little bit of Zelo in it, I'm keeping the hair. Speaking of, how you feeling with this, Zelo? Are we going for the look you envisioned, or am I just going off the rails on doing my own thing? Looking fun? Awesome. Awesome. That's exactly what I want it to look like. Lots of fun. Let's get some fun horns in here too. Some more upright, sort of like pronghorn. No, that's not the right word. Some more, just sort of, I'd say sort of standard horns going. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. That's a good question. That's a good question, Tor. I'm gonna get a little bit of hair growth in there. And a little bit of ear shape so it doesn't look like I'm forgetting the other ear. And then I'm gonna figure out the rest of the body before I go into clothes, I think. Let's get some limbs, some proper limbs. wings too, because why not? I'll make them excited wings. After all, it's supposed to be surprise. Excited wings. Yay! No, I don't need the history brush. I need the eraser. Yep. And then cardinal sin of lizard anatomy. I figure we can go in with some boobs. Dragons are funky and weird and made up anyway, and we want to emphasize that pregnancy, so let's go in with some boobs. Unless, like, as always, if you're here in chat and I'm making decisions that you do not like with your drawing, feel free to let me know. I'll take that into account. And where does this other wing go? I'm looking it over and I'm not feeling great about those legs. I mean, I thought they were okay. They gave us a good starting point at least. But I'm not happy with those legs, especially in comparison to the face. They feel too flat and out of proportion. So let's get some better dragon thighs. We did say we were about like 70%. So you're gonna be a big girl here. I almost like want to make just some nice chunky feet as well, like big claws. Maybe it's a bit too big. Because I think... Glad you're liking it, Zelo. That at least makes it feel more proportional. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but longer legs at least feels right. That's a big old butt, and which doesn't need to be quite as dump truck as that. Sorry, I am deleting some of the dump truck. Let's get a nice fun curve to the tail. Like, I think it's sort of not flat, but like very, a tail with a nice big ridge down it. So you can definitely see like two sides. Turn everything sideways so I can focus on tail. I need a... Where's my twisty button? Hey, Sylvie John. That's a fun name. That's a fun one. I appreciate a good pun in here, so. All right. Hello, hello. What? Why are you not drawing? Oh, it's because the side is like teeny tiny. So let's go ahead and go for some more big cat. Well, not so much big cat as like bird. It's like nice lizard feet. Lizard feet. We want a good mix of dinosaur claw and cat claw almost. Because I kind of got a little detail oriented up on the face, so we need enough detail in the bottom as well. Otherwise, things look weird. Doop, doop, doop. A little bit of scales. Then let's really use that scale texture to amplify how things are twisting in space. Maybe a little. I'll try it there. And then I'm gonna use that to also like go, you know, to also define the curvature of other areas. Let's put it like that. Because scales form to the body and not the body forming to the scales. I imagine that these lines here would also whoop, whoop, whoop. I watched this like herpetology channel. I'm not remembering the exact name of it now. Oh, Snake Discovery. And they show, you know, they show off the animals, and when they have snakes that are gravid, you can definitely see the way that the scales bend over the gravid area. So let's it's kind of hard to imagine sometimes, but yeah, you can get very fat snakes and they often play this game called Fat or Gravid because in snakes at least they look the two states look very similar. Unfortunately, unlike human bellies. Yep. Reference. That is always your friend. Let's get some claws in there. And I should put more of an arm and figure out the foreshortening, but I'm not gonna do it. Because I am sometimes a little lazy. Okay. Now we can figure out clothes and junk. I'm definitely staying safe for work, but I also think, this is a form that is much larger than Zelo's original form, so we're gonna get a little skimpy with it. Like, I'm imagining this poor shirt is just barely hanging on for its life. Poor thing. It has seen the horrors of dragon boobs. I should probably delete that layer. I am... As you can tell, things are a touch spaghetti at the moment. Because I'm drawing too fast when I should be erasing and then drawing. Because otherwise, you know, you start to lose detail in the lines. And you lose clarity. So, here's that pulled tight top. And then I'm also thinking the absolute just remnants of a pair of jeans, a loincloth at most. Because, you know, I mean, it's had to deal with a tail, it's had to deal with a big old dragon belly. So, let's make it so it looks sort of like there was two pant legs here. And then it just had the worst day of its life. Zilo's got to get those maternity clothes on in order for it to... Little pockets left intact. Yep. I like that. Here's like the interior of the pocket. This poor pant just had the time of its life. It was trying its best. It was trying so hard, you guys. But it was not prepared. Hey, Rio. Glad to see that you're back on with stable internet. Oh, my alarm went off to remind me to make sure I get the cat's box cleaned. I have remembered it. I did it this morning because I am awesome. Okay, and then finish off this other foot here. It wasn't in it. Wasn't in his jeans. Yep. It's like that. It's like that really, really dumb joke that I've heard before, where it's like, "Hey, did you know diarrhea is genetic? Why, yes, it runs in your genes." I think it was part of a song, like a song that I heard once that was just called Bad Jokes, and it was just a country song that was full of just the dumbest jokes imaginable, all done one after another. It's a good song. Gives you a nice chuckle. I'm doing real scratchy lines today, but it's alright, I'll get it all cleaned up. Eventually. Here we go. Give you some nice little bit of definition to the wings. Okay, let's take a look at the overall. All right, not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup here and there for some weirdo stray lines I missed. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that example of dragon motherhood. What do you think, Zilo? Gonna shrink it just a bit so it's like matching up. You know what? Last but not least, so we can really sell who it is, let's get some Some glasses in there. Some quick nigh indestructible glasses. I'll put Zelo right here. Maybe some beginning of like some neck scale thingies. I'll continue down here. Yep. I feel that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so let's see who is next. That's not the picture, not the one I need. This is the one I need. Alright. And we spin! It is... Oh, right on line. Number 5! I did 17 and 9, yes. So I know... I remember which ones have already been done. But looks like we got number 5 here, so let's go see what number 5 is. And looks like it is guy turning into bee girl. Fun. Yeah, it's you! Huzzah! But yep. Said you sent me the refs. Let me just go double check on my other. Whoop, not there. I need to remember which things are sent out. Okay. Scrolling back into my DMs. It might be a little bit here. Here we go. Ah, here we are. Opening browser. We got some love. It's all good. I got them right here. Looks like we got some lovely B-girl refs. Now here's the other question I got real quick for you. Oh, never mind. I reread your DM and it answered my question. I know exactly who we're turning into said B girl. Yeah, I love the design here. So just going over it before I really dig into things. Got a little smaller one underneath. Hey, Avid, nice to see you here. So yeah, smaller arms underneath, bigger arms on top. You've got sort of eye shape stuff going on. Okay, let's do this. And I just minimized my Photoshop window. Okay. I should also probably save this Photoshop so that things don't get lost. Otherwise it would be sad. Put in Patreon stuff. I'll just title it December Sketches. Okay. 50 or 75% of the way there. The third or fourth panel in the sequences that you got. Okay. So 50 to 75% B girl. And I'm putting all my references here in the other side so that I can check in on them. And then again, because I know the character that you want me to having them turn into, for our B girl, are you still looking for this more modern style of outfit, Or are you wanting me to go more of the, like, vintage vibes that I've done with some of your other commissions? Because, B cups. Because I could see a really, really, with this hairstyle and stuff, I could see a really, really cute, like, 1950s inspired outfit. I prefer old-timey clothes, but that may be a lot for a sketch. Not as much as you think. Let's go for it. I'm going to get some scooch down so I can have some free room to draw. A beehive hairdo. That's a little bit later than I was thinking, but it is a good pun. Oh, whoops. Turn the layer back on. So far we've had Frost, Zilu, and now, AC. So, I can never figure out how I want to pronounce your, thing. Yep. So, I imagine kind of a blush, usually around 50 to 75% for your bug characters is when they start to be accepting and maybe a little blushy. So, I figure we can get a little, maybe they're out on the town and got complimented on their cute outfit. Despite not quite being ready yet. So. Tis a little bit tricky. Okay, I think I've got a good pose here. Let's get onto the right layer. And she does have some... I really want to publish a thing I've been working on, but never thought of a name for the thing. I was also with a Portal 2 joke. That's fair. That's fair. Alright. Get some of the elegant ladiness in the pose first. And then we can get the bee-ness in. The hips are being weird. That's why my... Okay. Yeah. Now... Okay, let's look at some of the B refs again. Popping them over to this side. Alright, now let's get that abdomen in. Maybe cinched a little bit more because, again, insect. We want to give that style read. Get the nice little abdomen in. Then... Getting some more reference. Let's look at some 50s clothes because we want not 40, 50. Because there are some really cute styles that would accent this figure very well. Like these lovely like fit and flare skirts that are very, very famous in this era. They pull in like real tight and then just poof out in such a pleasing manner. I'm thinking something a little bit springy and casual like this. And then have her hair maybe pulled up just a little bit, but still with enough fun curl into it. So, popping that reference in on my other monitor. Get up there, go. Yeah. So we get that fit. And then out and almost sort of like because of the heavy pleating, goes almost sort of out and then down for this type of dress. With nice big pleats that fall more like this. Yeah. Yeah, a floral print would be lovely. And, you know, if this was a full commission, totally, I would go for that in a heartbeat. But, for right now, let's keep it a touch simple. Now, if we really want to push that 50s-ness, we're going to go for more of a bullet bra shape. And then yep, someday maybe. I feel like putting her hand on her waist. At least one of them on her waist. Maybe a little shy wave from the mini one. This one's up here as she's sort of blushing. Very cute. Get some figure in there. Figure out how to structure this top so that we have it for arms. And I could do a cute little buckle there. And then some very fun little easy top. Does your bee girl have wings? Let me double check. Yes, she does. Fun. I should probably focus more on the underlying structure rather than the cute outfit. It's easy to get distracted by the cute outfit, but you gotta get the structure first or the outfit looks weird. Anatomy is important. Get some, then we got some little buttons going down the front as well as some lace. Some really cute little lace details. And little upturned sleeves with more lace details. I'm just going to imagine that there's some sort of pattern wizardry going on here. That poor seamstress. Trying to figure out all four little cute necklace going down. All right, and let's get in here for the face. Erase that for a second so I can get the proper face shape going. I want to do very cute little defined lips. And like, oh! And then just the smidgen of a representation of a nose because, again, insects. Do you have a personal background in fashion design or just a personal interest? I just enjoy fashion, and I feel that nailing fashion very well helps you nail the rest of the art. Like, you gotta go big. Like, fashion can tell you so much about a character in just a glance that it's unwise to ignore it. I'm gonna get these eyes in here. Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time sometimes can be a bit tricky, you know? With these sort of bee eyes, it's kind of hard to tell where the lash ends, and we're stylizing it like that so that it's hard to tell where the lash ends and the eye begins, but it's so very cute. And she's got some eyebrows. And I know we said 50%, so let's bring some more. We should probably bring a bit more of the humanoid features in here still. But all right, well, I'm getting some placement here for her bug eyes and antenna. I am having fun with the curls. Let's get a little bit of the original hair color in there. Now, a lot of 50s had sort of some sort of like bun going on, just because that was easy. Getting some of these curls in here too. Let's see. I think I'll have one more buggy arm and one more human arm so that we can tell that the TF still isn't done. Number of fingers. Looks like it's 3. And then a grasper. I need to make my pen smaller. Hey, Artless, how's it going? Glad to see you here. We are drawing some bees. Bee girl. A cute little blush. I'm very spaghetti tonight. Very spaghetti. I don't know why. Okay, okay. There's that. There's that finger and that finger. Why am I unhappy with this? Going back a ways. Just gonna... I think I ran out of undos. Okay. Resubmit. Yeah, I will, once it's time to choose a new thing, I will definitely like refresh the page and make sure that the next set of drawings has all the people who have put stuff in. Okay, and then this is the more human arm up here, so I'm keeping it. So I'm erasing and making sure that it has no seams, no insect segmentation. Then maybe this one under here is a little undersized because it's still growing in. It's still got a ways to go. It's only got 2 fingers. Hehe. Something like that. There we go. Got this little other hand here. Again, these are rougher sketches, but they will be a little... I do clean them up and get them posted out to places. And this one in particular I'll probably clean up on Thursday night or so. Glad you're liking it. Glad you're liking it. Let's turn this layer off so I can see it a bit more clearly. Do some... That is not an eraser! Should be the calling card of my channel. That is not an eraser. Whoops. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ooh, fun. I'm gonna do some of the cute little wings. Cute. Maybe a little underdeveloped still, but this is probably more like 80% to be honest, but like I'm excited and I like the design. Sorry. So this is a mostly bee character. Put some more lines on the bottom. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that for the time being. She's a soon-to-be. Yep. Alrighty, I'm pretty happy with that. So let me just make sure I write down who it's for. And make sure I have enough room on the page for other things. Gonna scooch her up here. And of course I'll rearrange everything when I get to it, but alright, just submitted a couple. Awesome. Let's see how many we have now. That is not what I was looking for. There's what I was looking for. Done. Now, refreshed. Ooh, all the way up to 19. So let us change the inputs a bit. And max interval. 19. Don't need 109. All right. And we spin. $11. Let's see who's number 11. Were animal. Awesome. Human mid-TF into a reindeer, getting into the Christmas spirit. So, awesome. It's time for something seasonal. Let me just go ahead and let's take a look at our reference. Okay. Deer time. Woohoo! Alright, gotta take a quick drink. Alright. Pulling that over here so I can have my reference. Deer time, yep. In particular, reindeer. So, now that I've got a human ref, let's look up reindeer ref. Because we want to be accurate in our unscientific transformations. Okay. Very cute. Very good. All deer is good deer. They've got some pretty honkin' big antlers. Like, look at those things. They look like they're like 30% of the deer. Antlers are good. True. Okay, so Callie, we're gonna go get us a good pose. We wanted some... So, getting into the Christmas spirit. So, kind of festive. I think I'm gonna go kind of like early TF with this. Because, you know, their antlers are so honking huge. I kind of want to have him like I kind of want the trigger to have been putting on like one of those silly little reindeer antlers. So now a big old caribou antlers growing off of them. We could do a bell harness as well. Like, not mutually exclusive, you know. Alright, let's turn this back on. Erase this. I don't need it no more. Bell harness be cute. Hey, Azure Bunny. Good to see you in here. Almost want them like falling over, like with the weight of the antler, like sorry, I don't know why, but just the enormity of said antler is getting me. I'm feeling all right. I'm doing good. Like their center of balance was suddenly thrown off by this. We can get a little tail going on there too. What do bell harnesses even look like? Reindeer bell, not Dell. Okay. So something more like that. Across the middle. Yep, I'm doing good stretch-wise. So, no need to worry about that quite yet. If I do end up needing to stretch, I'll probably do it at like 8 and then... Because I did consider maybe extending it an hour if I'm feeling up to it. We'll see how it is when we get there, but, you know. If it is, I might like take a... If I do decide to extend it, I'll probably take a 10-minute break or something and then... and then go from there. Let's get this leg all funking out. All right. Okay, so getting let's get the form in now. You know, one of the other fun reindeer fact. This wouldn't need to be TFTG because people, most people are like, oh, only males have antlers, but nope. Female reindeer are some of the few reindeer that actually have antlers and that have them all the way through the end of the year. So, truth be told, all of Santa's reindeers are probably female because males lose them earlier in the year than the females do. Get some good fluffy hooves. Because another thing that caribou have are very fluffy hooves. Very sort of wide splayed fluffy hooves. Helps with traction on. Oh yeah, some. So, I see what you say. Some have them year round, depends on breed and hormones and stuff. Get this get them falling back. Sort of like, weighed down by their new antlerage. Get a nice fun surprise hand going on here. Do. Figure out a good expression. This is definitely coming as a shock. To poor Callie. I mean, all of a sudden her head's falling back because there's something on her head that's too heavy and too big. Get a nose in there. One of the fun art hacks that I know for if you're doing a head looking down, this is how you do the eyes. Top lid, bottom lid. These are eyes looking, so like if you're looking at the head from above, but if you're looking at the head from below, it's eyes, it's bottom, top. It's a very fun and simple way to remember how to do that. Because otherwise you kind of get like just all stuck up in your head about, oh wait, how was I supposed to do that? How was I supposed to show all this gosh darn perspective of the planes of the faces? But no. You can use that as just a quick trick to remember eyes. And it generally works in more cars. It generally works. Get some sort of fluff going on with the ears as well. And Callie's got some short and very spiky, fluffy hair. It's all sort of pushed forward, which I suppose reads pretty well here with this pose we got going on. give that little fun exclamation. And then antler time. Got some long fronty bits, and then like a U-shaped backy bit. So she have a little wonky front bit, and this U-bend. The dog is crying at my door because she wants in so she can menace the kittens. My dog is my sister's dog, who my sister lives with me, is a herding dog. And so the expression to herd cats happens literally in my house. Like, all the time, all day long. She just desperately... She'll go up to them, and she won't, like, hurt them or anything, but she will put her mouth on them and sort of nibble, like, rah, 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 come on, you gotta move. And the cats are not a fan. So I actually put a cat flap into my bedroom door so that they can run and escape the dog. These antlers are funky and fun. Lots of like little random offshoots, honestly. Yep. So she's a whiny baby because she can't get in and mess with the kitties. Alrighty. Let's get a little nubbin of a horn going on over here too, so you can see it's kind of not a good nubbin. It complicates the design too much. Ignoring that thought. Let's get her outfit on. Playing Minecraft. Nice, nice. Then make sure I got the rest of this anatomy happening. Get down, kitty kitty. I love you, but you cannot jump on me on streams. That is too far. I need to rotate so I can... Wrong way. That's not what I'm wanting. Nope, bad. Needed the rotate button, not the text tool. There we go. Let's put a little hoof formation. Starting. Already pushed. How do you check if the design's working? It's a gut thing, but do you need to like leave design for a while to check? It depends, honestly. Like, when I'm doing a quick drawing, I gotta be a bit more loose with how, like, I gotta be more decisive when I'm doing, like, this stream versus, say, like, a commission piece. If it's a commission piece, then yeah. I got a little time, so I can... So usually, yeah, I step away, put it down for, like... If it's real bad, you know, I'll put it down for, like, a day or two. If it's, you know, I gotta figure it out quickly, I sit it down for maybe, like, hour, half an hour, and just think about other things, because your brain is a good problem-solving machine, despite what you think. It is, human brains are very well adapted to think about problems and figure them out, but they're not good at doing it while, they're not good at actively processing. They're good at processing stuff in the background. So, like, that's why all your best ideas come to you right before bed or in the shower. It's when you've got the free time to think about other things and not actively focus on the problem, your brain can start running those subroutines of double-checking things. So yeah, usually you just gotta let it sit for a little bit to figure out if it's going well or not. Speaking of checking designs, let's move back a bit and check if this reads the right way. I think I maybe want to make this tilt more dramatic. Like, the other thing you can also do is push things way farther than you think you should. Because oftentimes, like, if you draw something and you're like, okay, maybe, I'm not sure if this works or not, draw the goofiest, most exaggerated version possible. And that'll help you figure out, you know, okay, am I pushing it enough? Or does the goofy version look better than what I already did? Because if the goofy version looks better, then go with the goofy version, and that way you can, you know, that way you can figure it out. Figure out if you needed to push it more. Let me double check, because right now I'm drawing like a white deer tail. Whereas reindeer more have reindeer have more of a stub tail, which is very sad because traditional deer tails are very cute, but reindeer tails are a little more subdued and less flaggy. There's a reason that white-tailed deer are called white-tailed deer. It's because they use it for very specific purposes, and it's very well defined. Whereas other deer, it's not as well defined. Let's go ahead and put some clothes on this deer. Get a little bit of fur coming in. And define the shoe as sort of a shoe. Get a little busted shoe action over here. And harness. Bell harness. I'm gonna put that bell harness like sort of around like this, maybe? Like, they're not wearing it properly. I feel like it's kind of been thrown on them, you know? And is doing its own magic doohickery. Good for you. I don't know what that means because I haven't been up with Minecraft in a while, but good for you. Yeah, I'm glad it's turning out nice and dynamic. I'm drawing this in nice and dark because then I'm going to shortcut and just erase myself some bells. Rather than having to draw them all in. Get in there and do a little bit of detail work. Do, do, do. Jingle, jingle, jangle. A little bit of magicy snowflake stuff. Yes. Little bit of magicy stars. Okay. I'm pretty happy with where that's going. What do we think? What do we think? Callie looking good here? What's your opinion, Were Animal? Maybe, okay, maybe a little bit. Nope, I need to go in. In, not out. There we go. I'm gonna clean up her eyebrows just a little bit, maybe. Whoops. Clean the eyebrows and do a little bit of makeup. Or a little bit less accentuation, but otherwise, I think we're good. Yeah. Alrighty. Let me just write boots 4. And I think we're ready to move on to the next one. Probably gonna have to adjust the size of my canvas. Shloop. There we go. Need to make the nope. Need to make this thing fit the whole entire screen. It's all good. This one was number 11. And the thing is, if we roll the same number, I'll just skip it and go and roll again. So let's pull our numbers, but let's go ahead and refresh. Make sure there's not any new ones. Nope, still 19. Done. Yup. Plus I'll be able to actually look at the art and be like, hey, I know which one I've already done. 6! Huzzah! Number 6. Who is number 6? It is Avery. Mid-TF of the silly servitor into a ball-jointed doll. Oh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Get to do some more deer stuff and some ball-jointed doll stuff. Yeah! Alright. Clearing off some of my stuff over here and pulling up some of the references that I have. Okay. Gotcha. Speaking of, I probably should put out a post tomorrow to remind all the Nat 20 people, hey, get your commission for request in. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is have our lovely servitor with like one haunch, ball jointed dolls, just kind of looking back, watching this transformation take place. You know, like, okay, what the heck is that? Type of deal is what I'm thinking. And again, reference for deers. Perfect. I found like the perfect deer pose reference that I wanted. So I got it like this. Like this a bit. Then this front bit up and they're resin, which is technically a form of plastic, but it's a little bit different composition-wise to standard, like, ABS plastic. Gotcha. Get into bed and get cozy. If I could somehow draw from bed and be cozy, I would do it. But I don't think I do not have the current setup capabilities for that, unfortunately. Now, okay, so I probably made those hooves a little bit too long, like they should be a little shorter. I just You get real into like exaggerating that fun little point that they got. It depends. Like if I'm streaming, I don't think I'd fall asleep, but if I was but if I'm just like sitting and drawing by myself in bed, then yeah, I'm falling asleep. No doubt about it. And yeah, sort of from like this, like mid-walking almost. Okay. Now, should probably get on the right layer. Okay, let's start breaking this down now into how a ball jointed doll centaur works. Because I have a couple of them. And the funny thing about it is that multiple companies do it multiple different ways. Like, one of the ways that I've seen it done is where they make the body piece up here one whole piece. And then this leg bit here is its own various joint. Let me go down and have a joint here at the fetlock, or you know, or down at the hoof area. There's a word for it that I don't actually know. Then you got all your sculpting and stuff that happens right here and posing. And this right here would also be a ball joint. Just a sculpted one. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I have a couple of centaurs who are terrible, terrible standers. Like, for whatever reason, they just do not want to be all equal all the time, and so they end up pitching forward or falling apart. Well, okay. There are some companies who are better at engineering a four-legged figure than there are others. Doll Chateau, I love them for their, like, sculptability, but dear God, it's like they make their resin with soap or something, because it is so slippery that my poor little, because I have a poor little deer centaur from them, and it likes to fall apart so bad. I'm gonna sort of make this transition here fuzzy, like it's maybe our friend's going a transparent to keep in place. Like a transparent stand. I think this one I'll keep it like fine. Then I'll keep this leg over here. Okay, now I think I want to like alternate fake and real legs, so like have this one over here be becoming a doll leg. And this one up front we can really play with the naturalism to so that we can, you know, get a fun contrast where it's like happening weirdly uneven across the body. That should be a bit more twisted. Like, oh yeah, definitely we could have one arm dolled. One arm dulled, one arm not. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. And this leg is one of the still fluffy legs. So we keep that fluffy. And maybe a bit close to this other one. But whoops, we'll figure that out later. Yes, succumb to the dull brain rot. Join us. It's fun here. Any outfit thoughts? Are we still like going with the sort of Grecian look? Or you can just let me decide. Whichever way is easiest for you. You don't have to answer right now, but it's all good. I can just put them in something cute if you don't. Awesome. All right, I'll decide. Of course. In this case, maybe something a little bit frilly, just because, you know, you kind of associate ball jointed dolls and other such dolls are often associated with a little bit of frilliness and like Victorian dress. So, or well, I'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and put that face in. So it looks like she's straining to look over her shoulder. Where would this other... Okay, sorry, I'm doing the pose myself so I can figure out where this other arm would be at. Like, if I'm trying to look over my shoulder, then honestly, this back arm would be somewhere back here. Or... like, almost maybe, like she's got a, yeah, that works. I don't have to draw very much of it, and it looks mostly accurate. No, it doesn't look really accurate. Damn it. You know what? I'm gonna be a lazy person and take this arm, Control X, Control V, and have this, oh no, don't move. That's what I want. Yes. Have this, I can redraw the hand. Put that one there. Erase this bit over here, because then pop down here. Make this make a little more sense. Like this one should be more like this. That's what I'm thinking. Oof, that is rough. I'm very lucky in that I managed to get my weekend during Christmas. So I get to be nice and home and cozy for Christmas. Like this. I'm gonna merge this down. Control E. Make this area a bit over here a bit more realistic. Because there we go. Oh, you're going to Las Vegas for Christmas? That's pretty kicking. I have never been to Las Vegas, and I've heard it's fun, but also a bit overblown. I unfortunately have to wait for my next paycheck to get the remainder of my Christmas gifts because money is never a good time. So just gotta wait for my next paycheck, and then we'll be doing Christmas. I'll be finishing up my Christmas shopping. Got some of my Christmas gifts though. Let's make this a little less crunchy, a little more sleek, especially since it's further away now. Yeah, I suppose so. Let's get her antlers in here. Okay, I've got that sort of curve right there, and that one. Then these go up and back, and then turn. Curve. Sort of like the caribou antlers from earlier, honestly. I've heard that Omega Mart's fun. I've also seen a little bit of. I've seen pictures of Omega Mart, and it does look like it'd be neat to go to. Okay, got a cute little. All right, let's get the facing. And so it's gonna be kind of sharp. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I was kind of trying to go a little bit more naturalistic for a deer, but I can go sharper. Gotcha. There we go. A little bit sharper. And then some looking eyes with a very expression. Surprised. I think I need to. I probably need to double check this face. 'Cause there's something off about it. In general, the face shape is a bit softer. More of a curve. Boop, boop, boop. Give her little freckles. And then some hair in there. Bald. Okay. True. Fairies are pretty good bulge into doll size. Have this hair resting on their shoulder. Make this arm more human. Then put some clothes on our creature. There's a couple of very huge ball jointed dolls. Like, there's a few companies that do like life-size ball jointed dolls, and they're huge and heavy and kind of intriguing. Like, I'm sorely tempted. I am sorely tempted by them, but they cost like the same amount as like a used car, so no, that's not happening. For ones that big, I think they have like specialty elastics that they'd use. So one of the ones that I know uses a plastic internal like joint system rather than a string for their superfuge ones, but others I think just use really, really large like industrial elastics. Okay, let's see. Let's go with kind of just a cute frilly blouse. With a little Peter Pan collar. Well, okay. Let's pull this up a little bit because we want to be able to see that joint. And put a little yoke on the dress with some cute things like there. And maybe a little like shirring belt. And then sort of make it like a tunic top almost. Where it comes down and sort of flares out here. It's a very fun little cute. I want to see it. I want to figure out how I want to. Let's put a little, like I said, little belt. And honestly, like a little bracelet, like a little lacy bracelet. I think that'd be cute looking. Like, sort of like, yeah, I think that looks pretty cute. Evid, what are your thoughts? Hitting the right doll vibes for you? Glad you like it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and write the name. Let's zoom back on out. Almost looks like she's the one that tripped where animals. Nice. Good to know. Good to hear. Ooh, bat. Bat's fun. Alright. Let me just refresh. Make sure we didn't get any new responses. And spin for our next. Oh, 4. All right, let's see what number 4 is. Oh, hey. You have got several. You're very lucky this It is you again. Oh, you want to pass your turn? If you want to pass your turn, totally good. Just let me know, and we'll go spin again. Awesome. All right. Spin once more, and we'll see if we have somebody new in store. This one likes to go right on the line. All right, number 18. Let's see who 18 is. Hey, Radian. Good to see. Looks like this is the same one that you put in last time, which is TF and do whatever rad core thing you can think of. Just like the most rad core of soft, squishy girl things. Rad's a friend from a previous Discord, so I've gained a sort of sense of what sort of things that they like. But let's take a look at our reference starting point. This is the Radian. They are lovely. And now, gotta brainstorm. What is the most rad core thing? Rad is a fan of big and squishy. They like big paws, big bappers. And shiny and sort of latexy is also what I associate with them a lot. Yep, you got picked. So what should we do? Yeah, latex suits are fun. I feel like we're gonna have big inflatable pool toy. Always fun. Always fun. Okay. So I am gaining inspiration from some of my household decor that I have around. I've got these little like cute Pokemon terrarium things. I'm kind of tempted to go for like a Vaporeon pool floaty. If you're down for that, Rad. It's got all your fun shiny. It's got I'll probably go more anthro with it because again, you specified girl thing, so we want to make sure that this is so we want to make sure that we're definitely doing a little bit more anthro, but also getting that latex in there. Okay, so I'm thinking of doing a fun, like, sort of silly pose. I know pool toys are very out of season at the moment, but ooh, plants or goo inside of her or something. Little weird extra touches. Like, also ponies on the brain. Brain is spinny. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Let's start by giving us a body. Ooh. Okay. I'm kind of feeling like some sort of Sphinx-esque design. Yeah, little Pokemon terrarium. That's what I got. Almost. Like living Vaporeon terrarium, girl. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's see what we can do with that. Give sort of a nice squishy vibe. Yep, terrarium. So move things up a little bit so it's more in my viewpoint. Okay, let's see if I can... figure out this pose that I'm attempting. I sort of want like a lounging pose. Like she's resting on her big bappers. I am drawing stupid big at the moment. Oh no, you have to go right when I got your stuff done, right when I started your thing. Well, hopefully you will like the surprise then when you see it later. I'll try and invest it with all the stuff, with most of the stuff that I know you like. So. Oh, sorry. I was misreading the same color. You're right. What do we think there? We get to play around with just some... Let's get some baps. Just relaxing. Night, Avid. The main tricky thing is sort of like hitting that right, like, what's the word? That right level of transparency, you know? Let's see. Oh yes, beans is a crucial component to this. Let's go ahead and get a little chicken. Probably can just erase that bit. And get a little noses. A very cute little smile. And some fun little webbed ears. Get some Brad's hair going. And Vaporeon's got that little, like, I don't know why I was hitting Vaporeon. Maybe just because it's here, but also maybe just because I like its vibes, and it very much fits the shininess that you enjoy. More artificial poultice hair rather than stringy human hair. Okay. Let's see what I can do with that. So if I'm thinking in balloon terms, it'd be more like a molded shape. And honestly, it's more like a bit more plush, I guess, in this term. But something more like that, or so it looks more like like it's a solid figure. You missed silly Vaporeon balloon stuff. Getting a quick drink. And then add a little flower to the hair. Very silly stereotypical, very like silly little flower right there. And then we want the terrarium effect in the body. So let's make sure that there's an extra line here around the edges. Define the edges nicely. And then clothing wise, like, I'm gonna put you in a cute little summery bikini, I think. That way you're able to show off the terrarium effect. Ooh, with another tiny Vaporeon sleeping inside? Yeah, I can see that. Let's go ahead and make that, get that inside water. Based on how she's sitting, probably have the water flow like this. Put some little stars in there. Little oh, I forgot their little neck ruffle. Put that on as sort of a fun little decorative bit. Oh yeah, I could see a little Magikarp in here. If I can remember how to draw these silly guys. Of course, I'm doodling right now. I'll detail stuff out later. Have the little tail and that poking out like an otter. Gets more mustachy every time I try and redraw it. Fun little shell. Then bottom to the bikini. Get them beans. Make the arms our own little terrariums too. Sort of connected, I guess. Little splashes of waves in there. There we go. Okay. Let's get these in here. I'm doing them a little bit puffy and silly, sort of like again, we're trying to vibe with a pool toy. I know you said you were thinking some sort of pony stuff. So let's get a little bit of hybridization in here. Why not? Why not go crazy? Go stupid. Then got that good, like, scrunch going on with the tail. Let's try and make this curve again. That pony on, yeah. Ooh, cutie mark, yeah. Yeah. You got any requests for cutie mark? I can definitely do a cutie mark. It's right there to do it. While you're deciding, I'm gonna finish up this arm over here. Get some waves and stuff in it. Some other terrarium details. Watering can, little teeny succulent and a round terrarium, seashell and starfish. Okay. Let's go with the terrarium. Cause, you know, that fits the vibe. Sort of almost like a little one of those little fishbowl terrariums, I think. Put a couple of hearts around it, like terrarium love. You know, make it fun and detailed to match the rest of the detailing. Alrighty. Oh, whoops. She got so big. So big. Filled up the rest of the page, big. Awesome. I'm gonna make her maybe a little bit less big. Just so I can have a better composition later. Sorry. Okay. Double checking on time. We're hitting about the 8 o'clock mark. So, what's everyone's thoughts on another hour? I'm thinking I need like a little 10-minute break before 10-minute break, and then I could do another hour or so. But I also want to, check in on chat's energy. Do you guys need to go to sleep? You guys need to relax? I know I do my things a little late comparatively. I'm also on the West Coast, which means that, it's even later for if you're anywhere else in the world. Okay. Happy to see more if you're okay with it. I'm taking a break from my big project so I could stay longer. Okay. West Coast, Best Coast. Oh, hey, Wander. Nice to see you in chat. Okay. Sounds like a good plan. I'm going to go ahead and take, like I said, like a little 10-minute break. Gotta go get some liquid. Yeah. I'm not good at seeing who's in the chat without seeing them. Sorry. I'm not good at checking who's actually in the stream, but not talking. So I'm gonna take that little, like I said, 10-minute break. I'll be right back at 8:05. And we'll go on to the next TF victim. It's been awesome. I'm just gonna go ahead and transition real quick back to the request stream, and I will see if I can figure out how to pause the audio. Hey, let me know if you guys can hear me. Alright, welcome back everybody. Let me know if you guys can hear me at all. Awesome. Awesome. Nothing too loud? Gotcha. Alright. Well, I'm glad to get... Oh. Ah. Okay. Let's get back on into this last hour or so. See who we have next. So I got 19 responses. You're probably gonna have to reload because it looks like everything else is working. So, all right. Let's go ahead and spin. Number 2. Let's see who number 2 is. Rio 34. Awesome. This will be fun. A mid-TF pick of my Sona, ref below, turning into Hisuian Zoroark. Probably a little more excited than shocked for an expression, since it's no longer the first time I've been TF'd into Pokemon. Okay, okay. Let's go ahead and look at the reference. Gotcha. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind. I think they had to... Oops, whoops. I think Rio said they had to split earlier, but they'll be very excited to... Wait, that's the wrong... Oh, that's the wrong one. Which we'll see. Pretty sure they'll be excited to see their character transformation. Okay. Okay. We've worked with air before. Yeah. We're going from one form of fox to another form of fox. I'm gonna just go ahead and whoop. Get this and move it over here to my lovely setup. All right. And all my windows went down. Gosh darn it. Ah! Yes! Good to see you're here. I don't really have any questions at the moment, so we're just gonna go for it. That is big because I went through and I extended the canvas while we were on break. We got your character excitedly turning into a Hisuian Zoroark. Let's go get some... whoops, change the color. Let's start with a good pose. Hisuian Zoroarks are a little bit like hunchbacked. Well, all Zoroarks in general are. So let's play with that. And then, sadly, we're going to be losing losing that lovely tail. One of the questions that I did have for you, Rio, are you wanting the, like, clothed version of your Sona TFing, or are you wanting, like, the, you know, the nude but not really version, the... Then let's get some of the thighs going. Okay, in that case, I'm probably just gonna keep them sort of bare, yeah, because they're already mostly Zoroarkin. Alright. Get some feet in there. And then gonna do them looking at their new sort of big claws. That's my thought anyway. Doo-doo. Let's get your muzzle in there. And you said they're excited, so I'm getting a nice toothy smile. Toothy smile going. All right. Get some eye shape in. Some of that fun, starting some of the fun markings on the face. Hey Ray, back in time for a little bit longer, and we're doing some Zoroark stuff. Got their Foxona transforming. Let's get some hair wispies going, because that is the big defining feature for Zoroarks, is that lovely do. Especially Hisuian ones, because they've got the ghosty wisp hair. Yep. Let's get some of that fur going on. That fur going into becoming hair. Neck. Probably did the head overly large for this body, so I'll just shrink it down a bit. key. Whoop. No, don't move. Wrong thing. This selected stuff. Yes. Okay. Select. Deselect. Okie doke. Then imagine the fur here is also fluffing up to become that. They've got a very aggressive shoulder floof going on. So I imagine it's not quite there yet, but it's almost. It's in the middle of becoming the signature shoulder floof. It's the angry scarf. Yeah, it's the angry scarf. Then we got some. Zors have good bappers too. Some big spiky bappers. They've got badger bappers. Like, whenever I see like sort of cartoony badgers, got these kind of stylized claws. This part of this hand's gonna be a bit more regular paws. They've got these like little fur pants. I do have a lot of experience trying a Hisuian Zoroark, but it's also my faves, so it is understandable. Oh yeah, both types of Zoroark are awesome. But like, if I have to choose, I am always a sucker for ghost type Pokemon in general. And I love like story and plotline that comes from these guys. I love the drama and the depth that comes from Hisuian Zoroark. So give me my angsty ghost boys. And there's these little. And then the only sad thing about Hisuian Zoroarks is that they have little nubbin tails, little bunny rabbit nubbin tails. They should get cool long tails like their buddies. All right, now psychic type. That's a pretty good type. There's some awesome designs there too. Okay. And then you see, you've got that same sort of funky badger feet foot, if I remember correctly. I'm still gonna double check the I'm still gonna double check the design because you never know, even though I've drawn it 100 times. Sometimes the brain is just foggy. Yes, they have the badger type claw on their feetsies. My brain was not lying to me today. Not today! Woohoo! Alright. Get them nice little bumpy wounds. And a little bumpy there. Okay. And then finish off this little hand over here in just a second. Turn it so I can gonna have it like the claws are growing, but not quite there yet. And double checking the ref I was sent. Yeah, he's got the got the paw a bit up here and on the hair. His hands are being mutant hands for the moment because, you know, going from a regular old hand to weird mutant claws. Definitely gonna look janky. That is part of the fun bit of transformation art. If something looks janky, you can just say, "Oh, it's because they're in the middle of transforming. Of course, it's gonna look janky. Things are gonna be weird." You know. You know how it is. Alrighty. That got done surprisingly quickly, honestly. I'm pretty happy with that. What do you think? What do you think, Rio? Awesome, awesome. Well, let's pull this back over and get a new request done. Gauging from the time, this probably will be the last request, so keep that in mind. Let's see who we got. I think we already did number 3, but I'll double check. And if not... Oh, nope. We haven't done number 3. I was wrong. Looks like it is Fluff System. And they want their Cerberus Chimera in a lounging vibing pose. So just like chillin'. Chillin'. Let's take a look at this reference. Oh, dang. Yeah, that's probably gonna take the rest of the stream. It's a lovely design, very gorgeous, very not animation friendly, I'll tell you that. They are extremely detailed. But you know what? Let's give it a shot. give it a shot. We got a crud ton of limbs to deal with, so let's start dealing with them. I will probably not do all the markings. At least, not right now. I'm just gonna focus on anatomy. That would be cheating, Tor. That would be cheating. Okay, so start with the overall base. Get some good loungy cat energy. And I'm going to need to extend this already. Whoop. Let's just Control T. There we go. Okay. So. Get the base bean. The base bean in shape. And looking at the way that this character is designed, it's like they've got three sort of torso-y bits. Extremely long. And so I'm trying to get sort of semi-rib cages in there. And at least there's only one back pair of legs. At least there's only one back pair of legs. I'm gonna get a little cheaty and hide some legs under other legs because, you know, loungy pose. Let's get them tails. All right. How do cats loaf? Let us observe the loafing behavior of a cat. So I can hide some of the other legs. Okay, okay. Very demure. They just sort of curl stuff in. So let's get the floof here. Get a little nubbin. Get this other nubbin. Loafing. And then we can have one unloaf. Get back over there. Become the right size again. There we go. Better. So we'll have one set here that's loafing, one set here that's just vibing. Differentiate. Looking at the reference, this hand down here is actually a little bit more like hand-like. Like they almost looks like polydactyly almost. So I'm gonna leave it kind of funky. And then I'm just gonna assume that this hand on this side is also loafing somewhere over there under the floof. This is kitty loaf to the extreme. So kitty loaf with foxy tails. I'm gonna take this all and make it smaller. Brad, you have competition for biggest thing in the picture. Have one tail floofed over this way, I think. One tail floofed like this, coming curling in. And one tail sort of just accessorizing in the back. Okay. Seems to be functioning so far. Now, how to figure out these torsos. Start with some arms. We've got 3 heads. Do this one off to the side like yawning. Like, oh, I yawn. And so that we have one hand over here occupied. I'm thinking we want one hand sort of in the one head in the middle, so I would think I would want it like reading a book down here. Okay. Let's get this. I got a floof here in the center. Okay. And here I thought Ant Girls had a lot of arms to deal with. A lot of limbs to deal with. Hello! Good to see you back. I have not decided on book type, just book. Drawing a crazy chimera with multiple heads and limbs. And this last head over here, I might just have like literally conked out. Probably the only way I can get them in this pic. Sorta. Gosh, let's see. Figure this one will have their hand in front of their face, sorta. Like resting it on something. Big pile of pillows. I've got yet another set of arms. I'll just plop down here for stability, you know. Okay. I've got a sort of base sketch going. Let's see what I can do with it. Start with the heads because that's the main focus of any drawing. Is the face of the characters. I'm gonna in fact copy image. I'm gonna pop that onto the actual drawing just so I can have it close. Too big. Wrong way. Control T. Shift that down. And get back in there. All right. So the middle here is this leopardy character. Let's focus on them first. Giving them just a fun little book to read. While the rest of her is dozing off. That's too sad. I need like a sleepy but happy expression. Okay. And got sort of a curl. We can do it. Some sort of curly hair going on. Let's get these ears going up here. Okay. Checking the time. Honestly, I probably will not be able to get this done. At least not in this stream. I'll probably go ahead and finish it off stream. But I'll try and get as far done as I can right now. You know. Just being reasonable about my expectancy here. Moving over to this side, we got a canine. Probably where the fox and the foxtail comes from. I'm doing that dumb thing where I make the face and yawn. Alright. Get some fur going on up here. Put that hand in since it's an important prop. And then pull that hair in. Oh, my kitty cat has come to visit. And yep. Yep. She's hiding behind the computer. Oh. What you doing, baby girl? What a silly little bean. Okay, and the last one here. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to draw on that layer. Whoopsie daisy. This last head here is a Umbreon. Gotcha. So, more stylized than the rest of the team. Get the good squish of this arm in here. Umbreon ears are a little funky. In general, Umbreon's a little bit of a funky Pokemon design. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cool. I just find them a bit challenging. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. They are so smooth, yes. They're smooth, but they're also like, they've got enough form to be tricky. 'Cause like, you know it well enough to know what an Umbreon looks like. So if you draw the Umbreon and it's off and it doesn't quite look like Umbreon, you know something's wrong, but you're not sure how to fix it. You know? At least that's my thought on Umbreons. So, yeah, again, not that they're bad or anything. I find them tricky. Tricky to work with. Okay. Got 10 more minutes. Oh, great. Gosh darn it. I'm just gonna erase this bit. And let's see if I can get these guys into some manageable state. So, okay. Gotta map stuff out very thoroughly for crazy chimeras like this. Then just get a rough idea of a book in here. Now I'm forgetting how you hold book. How to hold book. Okay. Thumb goes on the inside. Rest of the hand goes on the outside to hold the cover. Okay. We're managing. We're managing. That said, I've got like 8 minutes left, so who knows? Alright. So there's the second boob under here. And the other hand. Is this the best hand? No, it is not. Is it a functional hand? Yes. Alright. That's the wrong way. Now, last body bit. Oh, hello, baby cat. No, you can't be on the keyboard. I know you want to be, but no. Putting in some big random pillow shapes behind as well. This part of the torso is kind of twisting, is what I'm thinking is happening here. So, like, this is where sort of the navel should be. But then again, Cats is liquid, and Chimera Cats is double liquid. Whoops. Let's pose this arm maybe a little bit less awkward so it feels like it's draping over their body versus just like going straight down. All right. I am not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And that's probably where it's gonna end up for the time being, you know? It's a lovely design. This is probably pushing it for too far on my on my list of complexity for these streams. Like, I'll like, just a bit. Yeah. Who else? Yeah, who else is left in chat? Since we got like 4 minutes or so. Well, I don't think I'm gonna draw anymore at the moment. If we want, I would love to, if we want, I'd love to let's take a look at just the big picture. Look at the overall. Let me get this to reset the view. And we can scroll on out. Is there anyone we want to scroll on into? Like, you want to, whoops, take a look back here at Frost's Gargoyle. ASC, yeah, let's go take a look over here with our lovely bee lady. Very fun 1950s vibes and just multi-limbs. It's beautiful. Yep. Some dollification, which is definitely my jam. Some festivities. Big old terrarium time. Some Zoroarks. Yeah, just sort of scroll on through. I'd have to look into it and see if there is. Usually, I just try to go for remembering stuff because, you know, we got the image right here. We can always check and see if we did one or not, you know. Thanks, 800 power. I'm pretty happy with this stream. It's the last of 2024, which, you know, we only had 2, but getting to the close of the year, and so I'm excited to go into 2025, see what comes our way. Happy New Year. Yeah, Merry Christmas. This is a lot more sustainable than what I used to do. Just it seems to be working out for me where we let the fates decide, and you can put more, and you can always put your thing back in next month if you're really dead set on getting it in, but you gotta have the luck of the dice with you. Aw, thanks. I'm really appreciative that you guys like to support me, and it really does honestly help me with a lot of stuff. I'm doing all right, but with the way that the economy is, you know, having that extra 150, extra 200 each month helps especially tide over that awkward gap between the first of the month and when I get my first paycheck. So, thank you guys all for being so lovely. Your money is very, very appreciated, and your company is very appreciated. So, I hope to see you guys later, and we're already over time. Hope you have a good night. Bye!